All right, we are live on YouTube, and tonight we're going to be discussing the fact that value is perceived and subjective. And I'm also going to be talking about the PUSA Studios channel. You're not going to want to miss a single second of this show. So stick around for all that and much, much more. Late Night with Coach Eli starts right now. Live from Northern California, welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell. And after you bang that bell, when that pop-up box pops up, make sure you select all notifications, because that way you won't miss a single thing. You will not miss anything when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. And also make sure on your smartphone, your tablet, your iPhone, your Android, or anywhere that you have the YouTube app installed on, you must also make sure that the YouTube app is set to receive those notifications at a device level. When you do all of that, you're set to go. Give me 1 second, folks. Okay, we're good. We're all good to go. Welcome to the show. Late Night with Coach Eli is in effect. I haven't done one of these late night shows in a while. My sleeping pattern, folks, has been all over the place. I've been getting the right amount of sleep. It's just been more so during the daytime than the proper time at night. So you know, that's why I'm going live right now, especially, I typically will not go live on a Sunday night going into Monday, because Mondays are typically the busiest day for my day job, my insurance business. But I've gotten plenty of sleep and I feel pretty good, and I will make it through my day. And that's one of the blessings you get when you're an entrepreneur. You pretty much get to make your own schedule, and you get to sleep when you want to sleep because you're your own boss. Now, from a health standpoint, it is most healthy to sleep during the night. But hey, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And when the stove is hot, when the fire is burning, you got to find a way to keep pushing forward, right? Anyway, before we get right to it here, folks, let me check out the chat here. A couple of my moderators are here. I want to say hello. We have Mutt Nuts Reviews in the house. And she came in earlier before the show started and said, "Hi all, how's everyone?" And I said, "Great. See you soon at Mutt Nuts Reviews." And she said, "My pleasure. Friends support friends." Absolutely. Absolutely. Friends support friends. They're loyal, they're honest, faithful, and dedicated. And, while out here on YouTube, I don't really expect anyone to be completely loyal to my channel. I do expect loyalty from my moderators, because I'm loyal to them as well. And loyalty is a two-way street. And basically, if you're giving loyalty to me, just know that you're getting it back from me in return. So thank you so much for your very kind words, Mutt Nuts Reviews. It's a great pleasure to have you here. I know you're on the East Coast. It is 4:21 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 1:21 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time in my neck of the woods. I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area in Northern California, Redwood City to be exact. You all know who I am. My name is Elias Melas, a.k.a. Coach Eli. And I've got nothing to hide. This is me. I'm live on my camera here in 1080p glorious HD and high quality sound, right? Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Right, Red Pill Fizzin'? Fizzin' is in the house as well. And at 4 past the hour, at 1:04 a.m. Pacific, Fizzin' said, "All right, let's check it out." And on my backup YouTube premium account, I mentioned, "Sup, Fizz?" And Mutt Nut says, "Hey, Red, how you?" Muttonus Reviews says, I found a way to use StreamYard on my cell phone today that I can go live to YouTube and be able to use green screen. D. Nimmin posted a video how to do it. D. Nimmin is awesome. D. Nimmin is the brother of Nick Nimmin. Do you also follow Nick Nimmin, who is a great YouTube self-help guru? Phenomenal guy. I'm subscribed to both D and Nick Nimmin. And they typically will do live streams on Nick's channel on Saturdays. But I believe D is stuck in Mexico. I guess he went out there on vacation and he can't get back into the country due to the coronavirus. So Nick's been doing the live streams on Saturdays by himself. But they are awesome guys. And I have not seen that particular video, Muttnuts, but I think what you're talking about is the Streamlabs mobile app. I believe that allows you to use a green screen from your cell phone. Plus, if you have an Android phone, which I believe you do, I believe you can run StreamYard from the Google Chrome browser or any browser you use on your Android phone to set up a stream. It's a little bit, more difficult to do it on your phone than on your computer. But if you only have a phone that can do it, that's the way to do it. On the iPhone, I've never tried to run the StreamYard from the iPhone, but I believe you can't do it on the iPhone. And there is no app for StreamYard yet. I think StreamYard should get on the ball and create a smartphone app for both Apple and Android, kind of like, Google Hangouts has, because when YouTube used to integrate Hangouts on air before they shut it down last year, you were able to come onto a Hangout in regards to YouTube's Hangout on air through your mobile app in high quality. And with StreamYard, if you're on an iPhone, the only browser that you can go on to a StreamYard live stream from your phone is a Safari browser, and I can't stand Safari. I have an iPhone, and I love the iPhone. It's the only Apple product I have. Everything else is PC. But, when it comes to compatibility with StreamYard, the iPhone is terrible for it. On your Android, you have more flexibility on that. So let me know if that makes sense to you, Muttnuts. I'm just curious to hear your feedback on that. Muttnuts says, good morning all. Red Pill Fizzin says, I'm fine, just putting some finishing touches on some music. Great Fizzin. We look forward to seeing it. Let me know. I'll be happy to promote that for you on my community wall as soon as you release it. Muttnuts Review says, my sleeping pattern has been off as well. Yeah, I don't blame you. It's not good for either one of us, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Right, Muttnuts? Muttnuts Review says, yep, also follow Brian G. Johnson. So do I. Daryl Eves, Roberta Blake, and Dan Courier over at Create. I follow them all myself. I'm a religious follower of all of them. Brian G. Johnson is great. The only thing with Brian G. lately, he's been kind of regurgitating a lot of content. And, once you create a certain amount of videos when you're a YouTube self-help guru and do nothing else besides that, you're going to end up regurgitating content. And that's what I see is happening over on Brian G. Johnson's channel. I still watch his videos, and I love Brian G. Johnson to death, but he's kind of like repurposing older videos that really don't need to be repurposed, in my opinion. I think what people like Brian G. Johnson, Brian G. Johnson should focus on is maybe doing some more live streams and live stream panels and, bringing people on and, helping people with their stuff live on the air. I think that would be a change of pace, but nevertheless, I think he's great. Roberta Blake is great too. Been following him for a while. He's a young entrepreneur in his 30s, and he did a stream earlier, I believe it was earlier today. I was watching part of the replay before I went live, and I'm going to watch the rest of it. He did a 4-hour stream on StreamYard and brought people on. It's the first time he did that. So that was a nice change of pace on his channel. He's also a YouTube self-help guru. And all these guys are YouTube certified, just like myself. Daryl Eves is great, but he doesn't put a lot of content out anymore. He's very busy with some, things behind the scenes. He does a lot of consulting behind the scenes, which makes him a lot more money than creating YouTube videos. So I really can't blame Daryl Eves for not putting out as much content as he used to. But occasionally, once or twice a month, you'll get something from Daryl Eves, maybe one live stream per month and a pre-recorded video per month as well. Dan Courier is great. He's still fairly new. He's getting closer to 100,000 subscribers. The rest of the people I just mentioned that you mentioned in your message, Mutt-Nuts Reviews, are already over 100K subscribers. But they're all great people, and if you're looking to get your YouTube channel on the right path or the right track, they are awesome to follow. Red Pill Pheasant says, one thing I want to say is a lot of the negativity the haters are trying to point out is really no big deal. Just leave me alone and keep it moving. Well, Fizzin, here's the thing. You got to do what I've been doing. Just ignore them, and you've been doing that. It's one thing to talk about haters in general, and another thing to specifically mention them or mention specific situations. Because when you do that, Red Pill Pheasant, you in essence are giving these people an endless amount of content. And it's real interesting. I'm probably going to do a stream on this at some point soon, Fizzin, regarding sociopaths. I learned a lot more about sociopaths based on a couple of videos I watched earlier today. I'll probably share those videos on my community wall tomorrow. And sociopaths pretty much, will make content out of anything. Even if you just breathe wrong, even if you tilt your head to the left, they'll create content out of it. So the less you feed into them, or if you don't feed into them at all, you're in essence cutting off their spigot, and they have no content. Now, if you were in a beef with people in the past, and you start ignoring them, they may still come at you for a little while, but eventually it's going to get old and boring, and they're going to get tired of trying to incite you back into the endless back and forth. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Fizzin. They are irrelevant and not worth addressing. And today I want to talk about the PUSA Studios channel because they put a community posting out that I shared, and I've got a few choice words to make. Isaac Guest. Isaac Guest, checkmate, hashtag guest mob. Let me make sure that that's the real Isaac. Heard a lot about you, man. Let me see. Your account was started April 20th, 2020. That means you started it today, man. I don't think that's the real you. Guest mob. I think you also go by Be Our Guest, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just ban you. By the way I'm still able to check out channels, folks, is with the go-to channel extension that is only for the Google Chrome browser. I'm going to do a video probably tomorrow on how to install it, and that way you can still check out channels while you're in a live stream chat. Yeah, Red Pill Fizzin, what's the wow for? That was totally a sock account. Listen, Be Our Guest, aka Guest Mob, Isaac, he's a really busy dude. And trust me, if he wanted to find out some things about me and help me out with certain things, he would reach out to me a different way. He would not come in on a sock account that was just created today. And a lot of trolls are thinking that we can no longer check out your channels while you're on a live stream chat, but with the go-to channel plugin, you can. And I just checked it out. Well, no, that's a real channel. And this guy, Be Our Guest, okay, also known as Guest Mob, he's actually a pretty good person that helps people find the truth about bad people. He goes after people that do other people wrong, especially out here on YouTube. And he does a lot of extensive research, and I have a lot of respect for what he does. But that wasn't him. That was a troll that was, watching one of my recent live streams where we were talking about it, and they wanted to create a stock account, thinking that I wasn't going to pick up on it. But oh well. Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good, Fizzin. It's all good. Let's see. Mutnuts Review says, at not a gur autocorrect. Okay, yes, it does make sense to me, says Mutnuts. I also follow Alan. I follow Alan Spicer as well. You know how I found out about Alan Spicer? I believe he's in the UK, Mutnuts Reviews. Alan Spicer used to be a part of, you remember James Cox? Were you ever a part of the hashtag I Am a Creator community? Started by James Cox, I'd say about 2.5 to almost 3 years ago. It was during the time when YouTube changed their monetization rules from needing 10,000 views to qualify for monetization to now needing 4,000 minimum watch hours in the previous 12 months and 1,000 subscribers. I met Alan Spicer through the hashtag I'm a Creator community, and he's now at 11, 12,000 subscribers, something like that. Maybe a little bit more than that. He's doing quite well. And yeah, I'm subscribed to all these people. They're really, really good people. I love hearing different spins on the same subjects from different YouTube self-help gurus. So I never get tired of hearing YouTube self-help guru stuff. Red Pill Fizzin says, unless someone messes with my family or steals from me, then I don't care. Anything besides that is petty and irrelevant and not worth addressing, LOL. It's not worth addressing, Fizzin, because all you're doing is giving these people endless content. Unless you want to go into a back and forth with other YouTubers that just don't feed into them. Now, tonight, I'm going to be, coming directly at the PUSA Studios channel, and I'm hoping that they address me, not because I want to leverage their subs. I don't care about that. I want to call them out on some very unprofessional things that I feel they've been doing not only lately, but for quite some time. And I'm going to call them out on their lack of professionalism. And we'll get to that in just a little bit. I also follow vidIQ and video influencers. Yes, I do too. I can't even talk. Video influencers is run by a guy named Sean Cannell and Benji. I can't remember Benji's last name. Sean Cannell and Benji. They run the video influencers channel. And Sean Cannell also has Think Media. So those are some very good people. I'm glad to see that you're taking this YouTube thing seriously and following, the best YouTube self-help gurus out there. Mutnuts Reviews, excellent. Okay, Red Pill Fizzin says, well, we already got that. Wow, guess mob, LOL. Mutnuts Review says, yes, he is in UK, and no, I was not part of that. Oh, okay, so you just, because you follow other self-help gurus, YouTube probably recommended some of Alan Spicer's videos to you as related videos, and that's how you subscribe to him. Great. Awesome. I love the TubeBuddy channel. TubeBuddy's great. I used to watch the TubeBuddy channel a lot. I more so now follow the vidIQ channel run by Rob. I think Rob is in the UK as well. And the Morning Fame channel. I don't follow Morning Fame, and I haven't used Morning Fame, but I heard Morning Fame is a pretty good product as well. There's TubeBuddy, Morning Fame, and there's also vidIQ, and they're all, YouTube programs that help you optimize your videos for searchability, etc. So excellent, excellent. All right, so we've been on for 34 minutes already. 15 minutes of that was music. Let's get to the topic. Today's topic, nice topic, is value is perceived and subjective, plus PUSA Studios, PUSA Studios, is unprofessional. It's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. So, Andrew and Ksenia, if you don't like the fact that I'm doing a review on your channel saying you're unprofessional, I'd be happy to invite you on one of my live stream panels, or I'd be happy to join you on one of your live stream panels and we can talk about this. But I don't think you're going to have the courage to do that. I don't think you would ever want to go toe-to-toe with me, Andrew, and Ksenia. Because you know what happens when you mess with the bull, Andrew and Ksenia, you get the horns. And you know I would give you the horns. So you just would rather talk shit about me behind my back, or, you know, on your community posting, which I'll share that in a second here, and then just run away. That's all you do. Anyway. So let's talk about, you know, value is perceived and subjective. The topic goes hand in hand with a community posting that I saw on the PUSA Studio channels, or the PUSA Studios channel earlier today. And then I shared that on my community tab. And after I shared it, you know, a lot of people from my community saw it, and a lot of people commented on it. And the comments were very interesting on it. Now, I'm not going to show a screenshot of this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my community tab. So give me just 1 second here, and I'm going to read the posting that was on their community tab. And then I will tell you who I think wrote that between Andrew and Ksenia, a married couple in Canada that run the PUSA Studios channel. This is what their community posting read. It was actually put out 2 days ago. Rant. 24 USD for a shout out from a clueless bumpkin, or a street performer at best concert on YouTube. Then this is the one that was a nice stab at me, Ksenia. 99 USD for a self-proclaimed life coach, self-made village idiot, and the list goes on and on. Well, thank you for the kind words, Ksenia. I got some kind words to share about you in just a little bit, so make sure you stick around, okay? Not only are these people delusional, YouTube has opened the floodgates to memberships like it did for live streams and monetization, creating another dismal wasteland. That's very professional of you to say, Ksenia. Number one, I know you wrote that, not your husband, because I know for a fact you are the administrator of that channel and you do all of the secretarial work, Ksenia. You know how I know that? Because when I first found out about your channel almost 3 years ago, okay, through the hashtag I am a creator community that was run by James Cox, your husband, Andrew, was looking to interview people. And so I reached out to him. I reached out to Andrew. I made a comment, I guess it was in one of the videos or something. And then Andrew said he'd like to interview me. Emailed my wife at this email. She sets up the interviews for me. And I'm like, okay, I mean, why can't we just set it up, you and I, man to man, right? Why can't we just set it up, right? But I'm like, okay, so he has his wife doing that, no big deal. Now, I emailed Ksenia immediately. 2 days later, Ksenia gets back to me and says, thank you for your interest in wanting to be interviewed on the show. Unfortunately, at this time, we're booked up, and we don't know when another spot will be available. We will contact you in the future if a spot is open. Basically, the BS brush off saying that we don't want to interview you. And she didn't even know who I was. But the reason why she dismissed me is because even back in those days, I was already getting heavily trolled on YouTube by a group of super trolls, right? That have been trolling me for a while. She held that against me. I never did one thing wrong to her or Andrew, and all I wanted to do was have an interview with the guy and maybe interview him and her on my channel. We were a part of the I Am a Creator community, and we were trying to collaborate and network. At that point right there, I lost a lot of respect, not only for Ksenia, but her husband, Andrew. So if I go back to that experience with Ksenia from the PUSA Studios channel, I can totally tell that this community posting was made by her. It was totally made by her. And even if it was made by you, Andrew, either one of you to, put out a posting like this is not only very unprofessional in my opinion, it's very immature, and it just shows me a lot of insecure behavior. Because let me share this with you. Actually, let me check out the chat real quick and see if the chat is commenting on this at all, because I want to get some good feedback on this one here. Let's see. I use vidIQ, TubeBuddy, and Morning Fame, says Muttonus Reviews. Red Pill Fist. And before I forget, I want to give a shout out to fellow YouTuber Spiderloke Eastleigh. Go check out his live streams. He used to be on 50 Cent's label. Cool. And Fizzin says, furthermore, to people on YouTube, if you don't like someone's channel and they're not talking about you, then don't watch him. It's that simple. LOL. It is. It is. But Fizzin, there are a lot of sociopaths out here on YouTube that just love to be a fly in everyone's ear, and they like to stir up the pot. They like to infiltrate communities in any way that they can and make content out of it. So yeah, the best thing you can do is, no matter how much they try to get to you, just continue to ignore them and move on with your plan of running your channel. That's it. That's what it all boils down to, bro. That's it. Let me get back to the Andrew and Ksenia thing. Okay. So, Ksenia and Andrew, you are both upset at the fact that YouTube decided to open up the floodgates to allowing pretty much most monetized channels, as long as they're monetized, regardless of the fact of whether they have the 30,000 subscribers that YouTube states on their website are the minimum threshold to qualify for memberships. Now, what YouTube also put on their requirements is that some channels with fewer than 30,000 subscribers may be getting access, and we will be rolling out this feature to more and more creators over the course of time. And now they figured it was the right time to do it. So YouTube decides to roll out memberships to all YouTubers that are a part of the YouTube Partner Program, meaning all monetized channels, as long as they are compliant with community guidelines, ad-friendly guidelines, and the membership guidelines, and as long as they feel they're going to follow the membership guidelines, which is what I'm trying to say. Okay. And because of that, and Andrew and Ksenia, who have, I think they have, what do they have? Like, how many subscribers do they have now? Let's check it out. They have 11.6K subscribers. Because you folks have almost 12K subscribers and you were given access to memberships a while back, it made you feel special that you qualified for something reaching a greater subscriber threshold. Is that what it is? Is it a jealousy thing that now the fact that memberships have been rolled out to pretty much any decent person in the YouTube Partner Program, that you just don't feel as special, so now you got to come out and rant on it in very immature, insecure, and unprofessional ways? Is that what it is? I mean, I'm surprised that you haven't deleted this posting. I'm really surprised. Again, let me read this again. Rant, 24 USD for a shout out from a clueless bumpkin or a street performer at best concert on YouTube. So what? If people want to pay those people money for that entertainment, so what? What's wrong with that? $99 USD for a self-proclaimed life coach. That's me, Ksenia and Andrew. Just say it, Coach Eli, right? But you don't want to give me notoriety, right? You don't want to give me notoriety, but you want to sneak it in there, right? Self-made village idiot. Yeah, I'm a self-made village idiot. Very professional of you. And the list goes on and on. Not only are these people delusional, no, ma'am, I think you're delusional and so is your husband. Because there was no need for you to come out here and even make this statement. Now, if that's how you feel, and if that's how your husband Andrew feels, Ksenia, then you know what? You should talk about that behind the scenes and keep that away from the public eye, because not only does that make you look bad in front of people that don't like you, but it also makes you look really bad and stupid in front of your own audience. Wow. Not only are these people delusional, YT YouTube has opened the floodgates to memberships like it did for live streams and monetization, creating another dismal wasteland. So what if I thought you're a dismal wasteland? What if I come out here and say, I think your channel is a dismal wasteland, which I wouldn't say that, and I'm not saying that. But you see, PUSA Studios, I have my opinions about your channel. I've had my opinions about your channel for a long time, but I don't sit here and come at you like that. I don't. Today I am, because after seeing this posting here and then sharing it on my community tab and then seeing the response that your posting got because of what I shared, I wanted to step on in. Because now, Ksenia and Andrew, I'm going to see how good of a YouTuber you both are and how fair you are. I'm going to challenge you to a one-on-one debate on this, on your channel or my channel. We can do it on my channel. We can do it on your channel. I don't care. I'm not looking to leverage your subscribers. You have 11.6K. I've got 4.1K. So what? No big deal. I get a good amount of traction anyway. I'm not looking to do this for the traction. I actually want to have a one-on-one debate with you, Andrew, and your wife, Ksenia, because both of you seem to like to run your mouths, and then you never ever talk with people on the panel. You seem to like to run your mouths on your show and on your community walls, but then like you just hide out. You like to call people out on things, but then you don't give them the opportunity to, respond to you. So how professional is that? Seriously, how professional is that? Hang on a second here. Give me a second. The True Texan American. Who are you? How'd you find out about my channel? Welcome to the show. I just checked out your channel. You have 26 subs. Your channel's been around for a few years. What's up, dude? Tell us how you found out about this channel. Let's see. What kind of content is on this couple's channel? Well, I met them through the Growth Stream community 3 years ago, Fizzin. Basically, they talk about, current events, politics, and they also talk about YouTube current topics. And then what they do is they run 1 or 2 live streams daily. And it's pretty interesting how they run their shows. They put an interesting topic on there, and for the first hour of every show, they talk about a bunch of rubbish. It's like they just want people to sit there, get the watch time, and, get super chats and all that, which is fine. No problem with them making money. But the first hour of every one of their shows, there's no value to it, in my opinion. The value doesn't start happening until the second hour when they get to the topic. And they do that on purpose because they want to keep people around longer, right? They want to get more views for the replay, more watch time, so that way YouTube recommends them out. So, I can understand why they're doing what they're doing, but it's just, it's people will go there and they'll leave, and then they'll come back and go to the part where they started talking about the topic. And in essence, to me, they're just not coming off as authentic people. That's the truth of the matter. And see, again, Andrew and Yesenia, I'm willing to talk about this with you folks live on the air, one-on-one. Let's talk about it. If you want to talk behind the scenes, we can do that too. I don't care. Either way. We don't have to do it live on YouTube. Are you willing to have a conversation with me and talk about this? Because you mentioned me today. You didn't mention my name, but you were talking about me, and you were saying that I shouldn't be allowed to have a $99.99 superfan sponsorship package on my channel. And you basically are calling me delusional. So if you're going to come out and, state an opinion about me in that way, I'll be nice to say opinion when in reality it's an attack. Then why don't we talk about it? Muttonus Reviews, jealousy is the root of all evil. That's just my opinion. It's true. It's absolutely true. All right, the True Texan American. I just saw a link and clicked. That's great. Well, stick around. We have good moderators here, and we've been trolled very heavily in the past, and we know trolling behavior. As long as you're cool and objective and, project stuff, you're welcome to stick around. Welcome to the show. Actually sounds like what a lot of big YouTubers do on live streams, LOL. Yeah, Fizzin, and that's not the right thing to do. You don't. And that's on top of PUSA Studios playing 10 minutes of music at the beginning of the stream. So you're literally looking at an hour to an hour and 10 minutes before you get to the point, of the stream, right? Now, I understand you want to warm up your audience and do a little back and forth. I do that as well. But, I do that for maybe 10, 15 minutes. And then I get right to the topic. Or I even start incorporating the topic as I'm welcoming the people in my chat. For them, it's all about just all this hype. They're like shills almost. It's like they're shills. And then you have Yesenia, when the super chat lights up, she goes, super sticker, super chat, 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 super sticker, super chat. God dang. I swear to God, if I hear her say super sticker, super chat one more time, woo! God, man. Super sticker, super chat. Wow. You see, Andrew and Yesenia, it's very immature of me to make fun of you in that way. But you came at me. And you've come at me before in the past. Right? And the thing I don't like about people in general, especially people out here on YouTube, I don't like it when people run their mouth about me and then go and run and hide in plain sight and not give me the opportunity to, talk to you and call you out. We can have a debate on it, right? So I'm asking you again, are you and Andrew open to having a civil debate? 2-on-1. I won't bring anyone. It'll be just you two and myself. Because if you honestly feel that I don't deserve to have membership packages, I want to hear it directly from you. Why? Why can't we do that? Why do we have to make a discreet posting? Because you're ticked off that I myself, that is allowed to call myself a self-proclaimed life coach, because that's what I am, got memberships, and I want to put that out there as one of my membership packages. And if someone believes in me and sees value in me and wants to buy it, you have a problem with that? What does it matter? Why is that a problem? Why can't you just focus on your own channel and focus on your own memberships and ad revenue and super chats and super stickers and all that. And you folks even have a merch wall, which I'll be getting, at 10,000 subscribers as well. I look forward to that. Are you going to come at me again when I get to 10,000 subscribers and then I have a merch wall and I start selling Coach Eli merch? Is that going to bother you? I'm just asking. I'm trying to prepare myself for your next move, which I really don't care, to be honest with you, but I'm using your channel as an example to say that your posting was absolutely immature and stupid. And it's just not normal, professional, mature behavior for a woman in her, I'm assuming you're probably in your late 30s, early 40s. It's not mature behavior. And again, Andrew, you want to talk one-on-one? If you are a man, Andrew, if you are a man and you have balls, my friend, let's talk. Let's do it live on the air. Let's settle this. You're a YouTuber, I'm a YouTuber. You have an issue with me having memberships activated on my channel. So let's talk about it. Friendly debate. You won't do it. You won't. Because see, you like to run your mouth and then run and hide. I may run my mouth at times when I have an opinion about people, but I don't run and hide. I don't. If I have an issue with somebody, I tell them directly and I'll talk with them. Now, there are other people that I won't talk to because no matter, those are unreasonable. There are people out there that are very unreasonable, such as the trolls and the haters. They're unreasonable people that won't reason with you no matter how right you are. So I'm not going to deal with people that are unreasonable. And with unreasonable people, once I figure out they're unreasonable, I don't talk about them anymore. I just, there's no value there. See, there's value with you, Andrew. Not because you have 11.6K subs, because you're a YouTuber and you put on a good live stream from an aesthetic standpoint, meaning that you know how to use OBS like I do. You've got great microphones like I do. I'm assuming you have great lighting like I do. You are capable of creating great content like I am. So I see value in your channel. And that's why I'm open to talking with you, because maybe we can settle our differences and show people that, hey, we don't have to beef out here on YouTube. We don't have to have a jealousy thing. We can work together and grow together, which would get us both further ahead instead of these stupid attacks. I mean, wow. Again, you said it right there. 99 USD for a self-proclaimed life coach. What's wrong with that? Self-made village idiot. And the list goes on and on. And then I'm delusional, right? Folks, I'm going to take a short break. And then I'm going to come back for another half an hour to 45 minutes and talk more about value. And the fact that value is perceived and value is subjective to every individual. And for those of you that are at least somewhat intuitive, are going to know where I'm going with this. Again, I'm going to talk about value is perceived and value is also subjective at an individual basis. Just because one person thinks I don't deserve to have memberships doesn't mean another one, will feel the same way. Let me read a few more things here in the chat, then I'm going to take a break. Thank you for moderating, Muttnuts. I appreciate it. Is this a political channel or something? Nope. I'm a coach, bro. Why don't you read the about section? I'm a life coach. and I'm a YouTuber, and I'm YouTube certified. I help people with their business and personal relationship aspects, and I'm also YouTube certified. I help people grow their YouTube channel as well. Fizen says, but the question is, why are they worried about you when they got 3 times the subs? I don't know, man, because they're insecure people, bro. That's the bottom line. And that's what it all boils down to. Because, you know, even if I had only 200 subs, I would never make a posting like that. I would never go after someone like that. They're trying to say that, okay, you don't offer as much value to deserve to have the memberships option on your channel as we do. Really, what kind of value do you provide, Ksenia and Andrew, besides dancing up and down, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, and then you give your opinion about YouTube stuff? I mean, do what you got to do. I'm not questioning it, but if we're going to go from the standpoint of what your value proposition is, I'd like to hear that, because I can tell you what mine is. My value proposition is helping people get a better grip on their life at a business and personal level. That's my value proposition right there. I'm also YouTube certified. Are you YouTube certified, Andrew or Ksenia? No. Why don't you become YouTube certified? You talk about YouTube stuff all the time. Where is your value proposition, right? Like, I'm not mad. I'm not triggered. I'm just sitting here debunking your idiotic posting that you made for no reason, because maybe you have nothing better to write. At True Texas American, it is about life coaching. Muttnuts Reviews, they also read off everyone in the chat. And it's another thing about them. Muttnuts, they moderate every person in the channel. Like, they moderate everyone, right? And I think any channel that moderates every single person that comes in that chat I think it's a bad idea. Like, they want everyone to feel special that they have a mod wrench there, even though a mod wrench is special when people earn it. When you give every single person on your channel a mod wrench, not only is it dangerous for your channel, because if somebody goes rogue, you don't know. Well, if everyone's a mod, then they can't ban anyone else. But take that out of the equation about, you know, mods going rogue and not being able to go rogue if everyone has a mod wrench. What value is someone going to perceive having a moderator wrench on a channel where everyone's moderated, right? Now, you Muttnuts, you Red Pill, Fizzin, and other mods here see value in it because you're one of 10 moderators I have out of my 4,000 plus subscribers, right? So it makes you feel special. You earned it. You feel you see value in that mod wrench, right? But if I were to give every single person that comes in this chat a mod wrench, okay, then what would the perceived value be? Nothing. And we're going to talk more about that when I come back from break. Give me just a second here. All right. Sorry, cat stepped on phone and it hide the game show post. So game show collector, you're unbanned. You got banned by mistake by Muttnuts Reviews. But keep an eye on Game Show Collector because I just went to the Game Show Collector's channel. They have like 706 subscribers and they have no content with 706 subscribers. So and their join date was December 10th, 2017. So yeah, if you want to chat the Game Show Collector, that's on you. Well, yeah, the Game Show Collector said PUSA. Well, he didn't call them PUSA Studios. He called them the derogatory word. I won't say it. I don't want to get demonetized. Is a dismal wasteland. Their channel is not even about helping YouTube channels grow or learn. I agree. And they came at me saying that, I'm a self-made village idiot, and for me to offer a $99.99 package for being a self-proclaimed life coach is delusional. Yeah. That's fine. It's your opinion. But now I'm going to call you out and say, PUSA, Andrew, and Ksenia, let's talk. Let's do a stream together. I'll invite you on my channel. You invite me on yours. Or heck, we can even do it on someone else's channel if you're worried about your subs being leveraged, which I don't care about leveraging subs. I just want to see Andrew and Ksenia, if you two have the balls to go one-on-one with me. Or are you just out there running your mouths? Is that all you're doing? Because that's what I'm beginning to more so see out here on YouTube. I've been on YouTube as a YouTuber for about 3.5 years between my former channel and this one. And before that, I was a consumer of content since the platform came out like in 2004. But for the last 3.5 years up until now, all I see are people out here like you, Andrew, and Ksenia. Not all. Some of them get it right. But a lot of people like you, Andrew and Ksenia, you come out here, you run your mouth because you're insecure. And then when somebody challenges you on you talking shit about them, then you run and hide and don't confront them. I'm calling you out. I'm saying, hey, dude, if you have an opinion of me, let's talk about it. Are you a real YouTuber or are you a phony, Andrew? You tell me. A real YouTuber would go one-on-one with another YouTuber, especially after calling me a self-made village idiot and stating that I should not be allowed to charge a $99.99 sponsorship package. And I'm delusional. Red Pill Business says, and as a mod, I'm starting to scratch my head as to what the hell these trolls are so angry about. They're not, dude, they don't love themselves. They're insecure people. That's all it is. Whenever anyone has to question something beyond a reasonable level, it's an insecurity, Fizzin. Okay? The fact that I got memberships activated on my monetized channel should not faze anyone else. And anyone that does a rant like that is just immature, insecure, and unprofessional. And that coming from a channel with almost 12K subs and a channel that's one of the larger and more well-known channels in the growth stream community I've been a part of, it's pretty sad for them to come out and behave that way when they're so well known. And all I'm doing here is raising awareness and saying, look, it's ridiculous. But even if they're going to say something like that, then why won't they confront these people one-on-one? Because I never see them confront anybody. All I see them do is talk a bunch of smack about certain things or people, and they never go on panels. They never bring people on their show, right? Why is that, Andrew? Why? Is it because you don't want to get infested with the drama disease? I don't blame you for that. But don't think for 1 second that if you continue to run your mouth, not only at me, but other people, that we're not gonna respond to you. We're not going to come at you and defend ourselves and give you a piece of our mind too, Andrew. So what's it going to be? You going to man up, or are you going to run and hide? Thank you for moderating the chat, mods. I appreciate it. You know exactly what I don't want here. Let me cue up some music, folks. Let me cue up some music here. Take a 5 to 7 or 8 minute break and then come back and really discuss what value really is, and the fact that value is perceived and subjective to each individual person. I really wish more people would understand that before they open up their big, huge mouths filled with insecurities. That's all it is. I've never seen more insecure people in my entire life than on this platform. This is where insecure people congregate to on YouTube. Insecure people congregate on here on YouTube because they use it as an outlet, because they're so miserable that no one else wants to be around them. So they find other miserable people on YouTube to congregate with. Well, I'm going to play some music, nuts. That's what I do when I go on these little breaks here. I got to get some more coffee, because I thought I would do this show in an hour, but I'm going to go a little bit longer because I'm really feeling it right now. I'm really feeling it. Wow, my average view duration is 26 minutes and 12 seconds. That's pretty high. I haven't had that high of an average view duration in a while. 26-minute average view duration out of a 72-minute show? Jesus. I guess people want to hear what I have to say. Fizzin says, bottom line is people I know love me, so why should I care what people don't know me have to say? LOL. You're right, Fizzin. You're right, dude. You're right, but give me a second here. Let me cue up the music. Give me a second here. All right, folks, I'll be back in 5 to 7 or 8 minutes or something like that. Enjoy the music and enjoy this beautiful background of New York City. You'll see that more when I turn my camera off. So, hang on a second. All right, so stick around. We'll be right back. Great coffee, man, I gotta tell you. All right. Welcome back. Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube, the Late Night with Coach Eli edition. I'm glad you could all join me this late night. And if you're here on the replay, glad you could catch the replay. It is 5:25 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 2:25 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time in my neck of the woods. I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, Redwood City, Northern California, San Mateo County. You know where I'm at. You know my name. Here I am. And I got to tell you something, folks. I forgot to mention something at the beginning of my show, which I'm going to mention right now. And many of you out there know that myself, along with a group of other people behind the scenes, run some other channels outside of my A Grip on Life channel here. One of them is called You Mess with the Bull, or Mess with the Bull, You Will Get the Horns. And then there are three other channels, A Grip on Reality, A Grip on Reality 2, and A Grip on Reality 3. I am announcing here tonight that all of the content on those channels has been removed. And there is a reason for that. The reason is, I'm moving on. I'm moving forward. I really don't want to have any beefs with anyone. Especially, people that are very unreasonable and there's nothing to work with. Many people out here on YouTube come out here for entertainment. And part of that entertainment is just cringy entertainment where YouTubers go back and forth and they fight over stupid things that are irrelevant to the purpose of their channel or channels. And so I have taken it upon myself to remove those videos now. I do have backup copies of those videos and I have a fiber line, and trust me, if I want to get that content back up there, it will be very easy to do so. But I wanted to take the mature approach and say, hey, I have completely moved on from any and all drama. Now, you may say, okay, are you trying to stir up drama with PUSA Studios? No, I'm not. I'm responding to his community post where, him and his wife were secretly or subliminally talking about me. And there's nothing wrong with doing a response video or a reaction video and integrating it with a great life coaching topic, which is value. And, me saying that value is perceived and subjective because PUSA Studios, aka Andrew and Ksenia, the married couple in Canada that run that channel, are questioning the value that I provide to be able to offer those memberships. And they're questioning YouTube, saying, how can you give certain people this access? Well, if they thought that my channel wasn't worthy of being monetized or having access to memberships, super chats, super stickers, and ads, and soon to be the merch wall when I get 10K subs, then they wouldn't do it. You see, what you don't even know, Andrew and Ksenia, that 99% of my videos are fully monetized in green. I very rarely get a yellow icon, and when I do, it'll turn green on the replay if it happens on a live stream. And if it doesn't turn green, I submit it for review, and most of the time it gets monetized. I've got over 400 videos on this channel, and only 2 videos have been confirmed by manual review that they're not advertiser friendly or not suitable for most advertisers. So that's pretty good. So I'm only mentioning that because you're questioning the fact of why I was given access to memberships, saying that I want to charge $99.99 as a membership, as one of my memberships, for being a self-proclaimed life coach, which I'm entitled to be. There's no regulation on that. There aren't any regulations on that. Then you call me a self-made village idiot. And then you say myself and other people like me that have access to memberships that you feel they don't bring any value, that we're delusional, right? Okay. So again, those channels have had the content removed. I don't know what myself and the other people are going to use those channels for in the future. If we have to put up some content that was on there again down the road, that's sitting on an external drive on my hard drives, and it could easily come back. I just really hope I don't have to go down that route. I don't really want to go down that route. I just want to move forward and continue spreading my message of helping people getting a better grip on their life. Let me check out the chat, and then what I'm going to do is explain the topic of value is perceived and subjective, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, let me see what the chat's saying. Muttonut's Review says, must have the caffeine. I live on caffeine. I do too. I love it. Muttonut's Review says, welcome back. Yep, 5:26 a.m. Eastern for me, and I am up and full of energy for a change. That's good. Let me ask you, Muttonuts, do my streams supercharge you? What is your perceived value of my streams here? I know you're a moderator, and that's great, but do you have a perceived value of these streams? And if so, what is your perceived value of my streams? Because the value of my streams is subjective to every person at an individual basis. So I'd like to know, do you see value, and what is your perceived value? Let me know. Muttonus Reviews furthermore says, like my grandmother would say, you're taking the higher road and being the bigger person and just ignoring the ignorance. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ignoring the ignorance. It's a great way to put it. You know, all I want to do is run my channel and help people that want to be helped. I'm not forcing my help upon anyone. I'm running my channel and allowing people to come here and participate that want to participate and appreciate my content and value my content. And if people don't value my content, then you don't have to show up. But if you're going to talk shit about me, like PUSA Studios did with Ksenia, and you're going to do it in a subliminal way without mentioning my name, and even if you did mention my name and I want to have a conversation with you, then why won't you give me that? Why won't you talk with me? Are you scared of me, PUSA? Andrew, are you afraid to talk with me, Andrew? Ksenia, are you afraid to talk with me? Because, see, if you don't agree to talk with me, I can't force you, but if you don't agree to talk with me, all I can assume is that you both are chickens, you know? You know what a chicken is, right? I'll give you an example. You know, I brand myself partially as the morning rooster. That's a chicken. That's the male chicken. You know, the rooster, Andrew and Ksenia. So are you both chicken? Are you too chicken to face another YouTuber that you've called out in the way you called me out? I mean, seriously. You claim to be YouTubers. You run, you know, live streams every day. Andrew, great job. You do 1080p, 60 frames per second. Great quality audio and video. Good job on that. As far as your content goes, I have my opinion on it. I could state it. I've stated it before. I'll state it again. I think you folks, you know, do a bunch of gibberish for the first hour before you get to your topic. And then when you get to your topic, you really don't provide a whole lot of value. And I'm just stating my opinion. I'm not attacking you. And I'm even willing to talk with you about it live on the air, on your channel, my channel, or somewhere else, or even privately behind the scenes. I'm not trying to run my mouth behind your back. I'm running my mouth to your face. And you're choosing to run away. You're choosing to do what's called the hit and run, right? That's what a lot of people do out here. And that's not respectful at all. Muttonus Review says, what gets me is their bot cam. LOL, numbers going up and down are not always bots. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people get botted. It's stupid and a waste of time and money. Muttonus Reviews furthermore says, yes, they do, and I do get value from them, like I believe it was the other night you told me to try and get more sleep and clear my mind, and it worked. It has given me the energy, or my energy back. I'm glad, Muttonus Reviews. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Fizzin, if you want to share what your perceived value of this channel is, you know, I'd love to know that as well. That would be great if you're still around. So, folks, the title of the stream is Value is Perceived and Subjective. The bottom line is this. Each individual person on this planet is going to see each individual other person they encounter at an individual basis. So what that means is that just because Ksenia and Andrew from the PUSA Studios channel feel that I don't deserve to have the memberships option on my channel and feel that, you know, that I'm not entitled to charge $99.99 for a sponsorship as part of my memberships, just because they feel that way doesn't mean that someone else isn't going to feel that way. Value is perceived at an individual basis, at an individual level, and it's subjective to that individual person's, you know, perception. Where one person doesn't see value, another one will see value. And that's very difficult for some people to understand. And see, that's the kind of conversation I want to have with you, Andrew and Ksenia. I want to have a mature, respectful, and intelligent conversation on value and how it's subjective and how it's perceived. And I want to ask you, why do you perceive me as not having value or not deserving memberships? Because you are entitled to your opinion, and that's what you're stating. You're stating your opinion. But I'd really like to know what you're basing your opinion off of. Is it the fact that you just don't like me because I'm confident and I'm direct and honest and open? Is it an insecurity? I want to know, in all honesty, why you feel I don't deserve to have memberships. I really like to know that. Are you going to give me that opportunity to talk with you? Heck, we could do it privately. We don't have to do it on the air. I'd love to do it on the air so everyone can see it. But here's what you're going to do. you're going to ignore this. You won't even respond to it. If you do, you'll do it for a few seconds and continue doing your shilling on your channel. Because in all honesty, Andrew and Ksenia from the PUSA Studios channel, the way you run your channel, it's just like one big shilling tactic to me. Because you don't allow any other people to go one-on-one with you on streams and, challenge you on your opinions about them. And here's the thing. In my opinion, part of being a real YouTuber is talking with other YouTubers in the community, doing live one-on-one interviews and streams, especially if there is something that's being challenged, such as, you folks are challenging the fact that I got memberships and you feel I don't deserve them. I want to be able to have a back and forth with you on that. And if you're not open to that, then can we really call you a real YouTuber? Or are you just a big shill? Where for the first hour you run your shows, and every time a super chat lights up, Andrew, you've got your wife acting like a cheerleader. Super sticker, super chat, 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 super sticker, super chat. What the hell is that, man? What is this, a high school football game or a college football game? Again, I really would like to know the value proposition of your channel. What value, Andrew and Ksenia, do you provide to the YouTube community? What is your value proposition? Again, I told you mine. I help people with their business and personal relationship needs, and I help them get a better grip on their life. I'm also YouTube certified, and I know the YouTube system like the back of my bald head. That's my value proposition. What is your value proposition? Because if you don't have one or address it, I'm going to assume all you are is a big shill. That's it. Folks, I'm not going to be on too much longer. I'm going to wrap this up right now. And by tomorrow morning, I'm going to put out a pre-recorded video. By tomorrow late morning, I'm going to put out a pre-recorded video regarding the go-to channel tool that will continue to allow you to go to the channels of people that appear on your live stream chats or within your premieres that have a live chat in them as well. And it only works on the Google Chrome browser, and as far as I know, it only works on your laptop or desktop. And it does come in very handy, I'll tell you that, because you still want to be able to check out channels that you may think are trolling you, or maybe they're duplicate channels. So, give me a second here. So like I said, I'll be putting out that video. It'll be a very short video, probably about maybe 3 to 5 minutes long, if that. I want to raise awareness because it is a very critical thing to have, so you can moderate your live streams by being able to check out channels. I mean, if you have somebody creating a duplicate channel with the same name and picture, what if you moderate them by mistake? They could do damage to your channel. Now, I understand why YouTube removed the feature go to channel, because they want to stop the sub for sub and all that kind of stuff. I get it, but at the same time, it creates other issues. I think they should have just left it the way it was, to be honest with you. Muttonus Review says, no matter who you are, if you mention your subscription numbers in the chat, they have you timed out or banned. Yeah, listen, here's the thing, Muttonus Reviews. Listen, I don't like talking smack about anyone. I'm not here to kick anyone down. I'm here to uplift people. But when I see people that are trying to come off as legitimate, but they're phony, I'll call them out. When I see people that are trying to make it appear like they're providing value and they're really not providing shit, I'll call them out. And for the last 3 years, it's been one big game with PUSA Studios. And quite frankly, I would have had no reason to talk about them if they didn't mention me in their posting without mentioning my name. But I knew they were talking about me. So obviously, Andrea Ksenia, I'm still on your radar, which is great because I guess I made that great of an impression on you. But let me just say this before I wrap up, folks. Again, value is perceived. In order to get people to buy into your message, especially if you're going to start charging some packages like the memberships package when you qualify for that on YouTube, you've got to provide value. In order to provide value, you have to have a value proposition, which I've stated many times here. I'll state it again. I help people with their business and personal relationship needs, dating and marriage, and all business topics, entrepreneur topics, corporate topics, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to get into that. You've heard it all before. I'm also YouTube certified. I help people build their brand out here on YouTube, help them get monetized, and share with them what it takes to get there and how to be profitable and all that. That's my value proposition. Once I put out a value proposition, okay, it's up to each individual person out there at an individual basis to see the value and how they perceive the value, or if they perceive no value. They're either going to perceive value or they're going to perceive no value. There's no in between, right? And the reason why they're going to perceive value or not perceive value is because value is subjective to what each person sees it as, or not being there at an individual basis. That's the bottom line. Value is subjective to the individual person. So it doesn't matter if you have a group of people out here on YouTube, for example. If you have a group of 500 people that are saying, oh, this YouTuber has no value, this YouTuber sucks, right? That doesn't mean that someone that just joined your channel isn't going to see perceived value and buy into you, despite what other people are saying about you. And that's another thing. Value is based on what each individual person out there perceives it to be. It's subjective to them as an individual. So again, it doesn't matter what anyone else says or how many other people say that you have no value. And even with a group of 500 people that gather together and say this guy has no value, right? Each one of those people came up to that realization on their own. And they just so happen to be a part of a group that feels the same way. So again, if you're going to learn one thing from this stream here, you're going to learn that value is perceived at an individual basis. And it is subjective to what each individual person sees you to be or not to be. That's the bottom line. It's the bottom line. Okay. Mutton Nuts Review says, like you said, they are being very unprofessional about things, and that's just my opinion as well. Yeah, Nuts, I'll wrap up by saying this. Look, I wish PUSA Studios, Andrew and Ksenia, the best of luck. I'm not here to attack anyone or try to take away anyone's opportunities of being successful out here on YouTube. But if you're going to come at me, you better come at me with your A game. You better bring it. And when I say bring it, I mean bring it with your brain. I'm not looking to, stalk people or attack people in any way. I'm looking to have an intelligent back and forth conversation, maybe even a little bit of a debate, and go back and forth and hear you state how you feel, and I can respond how I feel, and we can go back and forth and see if we can figure it out, right? That's it. That's what it all boils down to. But again, people that come at you in the ways that PUSA Studios, Andrew and Ksenia came at me for that posting a few days back. If I'm a channel that has 1/3 the subs they have and I'm on their radar, obviously, I made some kind of impression on them, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. I've made enough of an impression on them to the point of where they found out I got memberships activated on my channel, and now they're questioning the fact that I have them, and they're saying I shouldn't have them. Okay? I respect your opinion. I stated mine. There's only one thing left to do. Let's talk about it like grown adults. Let's go live on your channel or my channel or on a third-party channel. Or talk about it behind the scenes. Are you going to step up, Andrew and Ksenia? Are you going to show the world the real YouTubers you claim to be, or are you just going to run your mouths and then run and hide after your show's end? What's it going to be? You tell me. You know my email, Coach Eli at coacheli@melas.com. It is below in the description, Andrew and Ksenia. Or anyone else. Feel free to send me an email. I'd love to chat with you. And that's where I'm going to end this show here tonight at 5:52 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:52 a.m. Pacific Standard Time at 1 hour and 50 minutes. I want to thank the moderators for being here and thank everyone else for being here tonight, folks. I'm going to have a video out by later this morning regarding the GoTo channel extension, how to get it, how to use it, how to install it. It's pretty simple. And that way, hopefully we can reach as many people as possible that aren't too happy about the fact that YouTube removed the GoTo channel feature within their live stream chats and Premiere live chats. All right. So have yourselves a great day, folks, and I will see you later for 1, possibly 2 streams later today. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. We're out.